Number 7, it says from the top of an 800-foot cliff, a hiker looks down at the river below. Her angles of depression to the near and far banks of the river are 65 degrees and 35 degrees, respectively. Based on this information, how wide is the river? So let's draw ourselves a little diagram. There's a cliff. So I'm going to draw something straight up and down. There's a cliff, and that cliff has to be 800 feet tall. 800. That's really ugly. Let me try that again. 800. There we go. And if you're looking down, her angles of depression, that means the angles from looking down from up above. So here she is, but then she starts to look down. So tell me when you, let me back up here. Let me get a dash line first. I'll leave it like this. Okay, if here's the horizon, now you look down. Tell me when you think I've gone 65 degrees. Okay, and so let me take this out to the ground. That would be 65 degrees. And now tell me when you think I've hit 35 degrees. Okay, and so this would have to hit the ground as well. So we have a 65-degree angle. That's 65 degrees. And we also have a 35-degree angle. Somewhere down here, we have a river. And that's what we're trying to find. We want to know this distance right here, the river. So let's fill in this triangle here. In this triangle, do we know what the angle is between these two? Could we find it? Yeah, it's 65 from the horizon to this first blue line. It's 35 from the horizon to this other blue line. How many degrees are in between? 30. How'd you get 30? 65 minus 35 has to equal the 30. That's right. So there we go. Over here, we would have to have a right angle. If this is 65 degrees to here, could you find this angle? You subtract from 90, what do you get? 25. And if this is 25 and this is 90, this is also alternate interior angles. So if it's 65 there, guess how many it's right here? 65. And the same thing, if this is 35, guess how many is right here? 35. And if you wanted to, this is how many degrees are on a straight line? 180. So you could subtract from 180, or if you added those up, you'll see that's also 65. And you subtract from 180, you can get this as 115. So we have all of our angles. We have to know what's the width of this river right here. How could we find the width of that river? Whenever you see multiple triangles, how do you solve the problem? You want to find the shared side. So as I look at these triangles, I'm going to look for the shared side. I'm going to look at these two triangles here. This side is the shared side. We want to solve for that length right there. Let's solve for that first, and then we can come back and solve for the river next. Okay, so I'll put an S here for shared. On this triangle, just so you don't forget your basic trick, I'm going to use the 65 degrees. Which one would be, you want your unknown on top. This is an H. This is a Y. Which one uses H over Y? Actually, I might just change it to an H instead of an S. Which trig function is H divided by Y? Cosecant. So we could say cosecant of 65 degrees, because you always use the angle on the x-axis, equals our unknown H divided by our Y of 800. This is one step to solve for the H. How do we get H isolated? Multiply it by 800. That was quicker than using law of sines. If you type that in, you should have your H value. 800, make sure I'm in degree mode. C cosecant of 65 degrees. I'm getting 82.702. 882.702. Now that I know what my h is, the other triangle, I would have to use either law of sines or cosines. Have to, because it's not a right triangle. How could we solve for the width of the river? Gianna, would you use sines or cosines here? And the blue triangle, solve for the width of the river. Would you use law of sines or cosines? Very good, because we have a complete set. What's our complete set? Not 35, but oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. That is a complete set. I was looking at the incomplete set. You're correct. Sine 35 divided by the h, and you're 100% correct, equals, now the incomplete set would be sine 30 over the river. And we could insolve that. That's all I'm going to do on this one. Menu 3-1. Sine 35 degrees over the answer. So I'm going to just do control negative to get that where it says ants. So we don't have a rounded version. And sine 30 over the river. Y'all getting the same value as me? Okay, I'm just going to call this 769.5. 769.5. The river is approximately 769.5 feet wide. Okay, now I'm going to give you a multiple triangle problem. So just like me, you need to solve for the shared side and then use that shared side to solve for your unknown. Here's your problem. It's shown here. I want you to find this value x. And just, I don't want you to miss, to help yourself out, the angle across from the x. Could you figure out what this angle is real quick when you look at the diagram? How'd you get 24? This 46 minus 22? It's going to be 24, I agree. Sneak that 24 in there. And now from here, you can go get to work.